Staff's very comfortable. The amendments were clear. Understand the votes on them. We don't need any clarifying information with regard to the amendments. As far as we're concerned, proceed.
Okay, all right, so we are back on Rule 1660-01-28 as amended with the 5 amendments. Are you ready to vote? You are ready to vote? Ms. Hayes, call the roll.
Chad Baker. Jim Bledsoe.
Aye.
Harold Cannon.
Aye.
Bill Cox.
Aye.
Jeff Griggs.
Aye.
Connie King. Jeff McMillan. Tom Rice. Jim Ripley.
Aye.
James Stroud. Trey Teague. David Watson.
Aye.
Jamie Woodson. So the rule with 5 amendments passes.
Rule 1660-01-28 as amended with the 5 amendments passes. All right, that concludes this rulemaking hearing for this rule. I will ask the staff if they want to take a break, or do you want to go right into the next rule? All right, well, bear with me for just a second then. All right. This is a rulemaking hearing before the Tennessee Fish and Wildlife Commission to consider amending Rule 1660-01-14, which deals with rules and regulations for refuge, wildlife management areas, and public hunting areas. My name is Jeffrey Griggs, and I will conduct this hearing. Order of procedure will be Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency staff will present information on proposed rule amendment. Commission members will be permitted to comment and ask questions. Members of the audience will be permitted to comment and ask questions. Staff members and members of the audience wishing to speak should identify themselves before speaking. I reserve the right to limit comments and discussion, and especially in cases of repetition. Mr. Chris Richardson, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This rule 1660-01-14 and the 2 rules to follow this, I will tell you, are all housekeeping measures. What the staff has done is we have taken language from these rules and included it in the fee rule. These amendments to these next 3 rules will all be housekeeping in the sense that that language is now included in the rule that you just passed. It's no longer necessary to be in these rules. We urge you to pass these amendments.
Have a motion?
So moved.
Second? All right, is there any discussion from the audience? Say, call the roll, please.
Chad Baker. Jim Bledsoe.
Aye.
Harold Cannon.
Aye.
Bill Cox.
Aye.
Jeff Griggs. Connie King. Jeff McMillan. Tom Rice. Jim Ripley.
Aye.
James Stroud. Trey Teague. David Watson.
Aye.
Jamie Woodson.
Okay, Rule 1660-01-14 passes, and that concludes that rulemaking hearing. Okay, going to the next one. This is a rulemaking hearing before the Tennessee Fish and Wildlife Commission to consider amending Rule 1660-01-05, which deals with rules and regulations for fishing. My name is Jeffrey Griggs, and I will conduct the hearing. Order procedures will be Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency staff will present information on the proposed rule amendment. Commission members will be permitted to comment and ask questions. Members of the audience will be permitted to comment and ask questions. Staff members and members of the audience wishing to speak should identify themselves before speaking. I reserve the right to limit comments and discussion, especially in cases of repetition. Mr. Chris Richardson, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Pending any questions from the commission, the same explanation that I gave for the last rule. This rule amendment, again, is a housekeeping measure. Language that we're removing from this rule has already been included in the first rule that you voted on. We'd urge passage of this rule amendment.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion from the commission or the audience? Not, Ms. Hayes, call the roll, please.
Chad Baker. Jim Bledsoe.
Aye.
Harold Cannon.
Aye.
Bill Cox. Jeff Griggs. Connie King. Jeff McMillan. Tom Rice, Jim Ripley,
Aye.
James Stroud, Trey Teague, David Watson,
Aye.
Jamie Woodson. Rule passes.
Rule 1660-01-05 passes. That concludes that hearing. We're going to the next one. This is a rulemaking hearing before the Tennessee Fish and Wildlife Commission to consider amending Rule 1660-01-27, which deals with rules and regulations for hunter education centers and public firing ranges. My name is Jeffrey Griggs, and I will conduct the hearing. The order of procedures will be Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency staff will present information on the proposed rule amendment. Commission members will be permitted to comment and ask questions. Members of the audience will be permitted to comment and ask questions. Staff members and members of the audience wishing to speak should identify themselves before speaking. I reserve the right to limit comments and discussion, especially in cases of repetition. Mr. Richardson, you have the floor again, sir.
Mr. Chairman, 1660-01-27, again, is a housekeeping matter. Language that we are removing from that rule has been included in the first rule that you, in 1660-01-28 that you've already voted on. We'd urge passage of the amendment to 1660-01-27.
I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion from the commission or the audience? Ms. Hayes, call the roll, please.
Chad Baker, Jim Bledsoe,
Aye.
Harold Cannon,
Aye.
Bill Cox,
Aye.
Jeff Griggs, Connie King, Jeff McMillan, Tom Rice, Jim Ripley,
Aye.
James Stroud, Trey Teague, David Watson,
Aye.
Jamie Woodson. Rule passes.
Rule 1660-01-27 passes. That concludes that rulemaking hearing there. Okay, I will go back to the floor and ask if there is any other business that needs to come before the commission today. I have a gentleman raise his hand first right here. I saw first. Come to the mic, sir, and state your name, please, sir.
My name is David Odecker, and I would like to express my concern on I have with the present policy being used to determine duck hunting spots. Keeping in mind that West Tennessee has more hunters than it has spots to duck hunt, could you please address my following concerns? Up until 2000, Crockett Bottom had 19 blind sites. In the year 2000, it went to an open hunt where 25 to 30 boats could successfully hunt on this area. The new policy beginning with the 2014 duck season only allots for 10 spots selected through an online lottery system. Again, it is hard to understand how cutting the numbers of spots during nearly in half benefits the taxpayer hunters of West Tennessee. Can you please help me understand the reason behind the new system? Number two, in years past, the law was that if you wasn't in your blind by shooting time on another individual could hunt the blind. It would seem that this is a more efficient way to use the limited time and spots that are available for a larger number of hunters who pays a license fee to be able to hunt. As it is now, spots are left vacant when hunters are unable or choose not to hunt on the days that they are computerized drawing was allotted them. Can you please explain why this policy has been adopted as a failed practice? In another related issue involving more WMA land in Hopin, the land known as Beach Ridge has a gate installed at the rear entrance to the land. A person must walk nearly a mile past the gate to get to the hunting land. After a successful hunt, bringing a deer out becomes a difficult. I understand the gate was probably installed to protect crops during the growing season. I would like to respectfully request that the gate be opened during hunting season. Finally, can you please explain the benefit to pursuing a Tennessee sportsman license when the present computer lottery system in place, a person may not even have allowed to hunt in the state of Tennessee?
Okay, All right, we will note your comments today, and when the season comes setting for that, be sure and address that. There'll be other commission meetings between now and then, and that will be addressed.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Anybody else on the floor? Gentlemen, I saw him back right here. Come on up here.
Is that your phone?
My name's Hoss Burtz. I represent a group of landowners yet to be named, currently Tennessee Landowners Coalition. We come to the commission, first thank you for allowing me to be here. I've earned a new respect for the TWRA and what all it does in y'all's job just by sitting through this today. We come today as a group of landowners. On written paper, we're 4,000 acres, and on verbal commission, upwards of 10,000 acres. We've got some serious safety concerns with road hunters shooting into private property. We've had several close calls. We're in the Lincoln-Moore County area. Along the Elk River. We've had several close calls involving women and children with firearms being discharged into woods. Our area, the topographical nature of it allows for a lot of narrow pastures along the roadways, which are 80 to 100 yards wide in the woods beyond there. These guys don't know where they're shooting, what's in there, and it's just a real serious issue. Our group is opting to push legislature to up the criminal offenses to a Class E felony, which would get it out of Sessions Court into criminal court and hopefully serve, or hopefully there'd be some heavier repercussions of it and get these guys off our roads. Our group consists of farmers who hate deer, wish they could push a magic button and just wipe them all out, and it consists of landowners who own it specifically for deer hunting. But we're all in on this same issue, on the safety. We're all together on it. These farmers are out there working every day in these narrow strips of woods and pastures. They don't know what's behind it. I'm asking the commission to support us in this measure and add any comments or input on where you think we need to go with it. I would also ask the TWRA to reevaluate, as has been explained to me, that the current practices are that when a poacher, person firing from a right-of-way, they face fines, loss of firearm, and possibly vehicle. Up to now, I understand that we're not confiscating vehicles, and we understand that there's lien holders, and that gets into a complicated situation with all that. But we would ask that we find some sort of resolution for the for the poachers to reimburse TWRA. We understand that TWRA doesn't see much, if any, of these fines. It goes to court costs to the court system, to the counties. We ask that TWRA find a way for these poachers to help fund TWRA, not just the legal license holders to fund this thing. I don't know what the numbers are, but the poachers are taking our trophy deer and we're footing the bill both with our licenses, the prosecution, and we understand the budget issues. We really do. I approve of the license fees upgrades, and but we really got to do something, and it's just not. I have a hard time believing it's just in Lincoln Moore County, but we're specifically bad. Can you explain to us why the TWRA doesn't get more of the fines? Or is that just specifically cover the court costs, or?
I'll revert that, Chris, our attorney.
It's set in state law, where the court costs, where the fines, portion of the fine, it's different in different jurisdictions, but that's that body of law that determines where the fines go and what portion the county keeps is set in state law and is not controlled by our agency or the commission.
Mm-hmm.
I will add, Mr. Chairman, I have been and certainly, sir, sensitive to the problems and the issues that you're facing down there. And I can tell you that I have been contacted by Senator Jim Tracy's office, and I will be working, I believe, this session with him and other members of the General Assembly and looking at this issue, whether it be restitution, whether it be increased class of penalty. I know that's an item that he's concerned with, and I can assure you that we will be, as an agency, working with him in how he goes about any potential legislation.
One more point or question. Just from the numbers I gathered from the local officers, Lincoln County has 16 cases this year as of right now, with 77 charges. Moore County, where I reside, has 1 case. If we can't afford officers, more officers, which is what I think we need. I think at least 2 more in Lincoln County would probably not be enough. For a temporary resolution, can we combine counties and get a cross coverage and get them working together? Because the problems don't realize the borders. The poachers don't realize what county they're in. They're traveling from county to county and mostly out of state. We get a lot of traffic from Huntsville, Alabama area, and I just ask for your comments on all of our questions and proposals, and thank you for your time.
Appreciate you coming, Dave. Your comments will be noted and addressed. Okay, anybody else in the audience? Gentleman wants to come to the mic, come on.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like for somebody with the chief rider or somebody with enforcement maybe to meet with the gentleman after the meeting and find out some more specifics about that. Maybe y'all can help him.
Yeah, just stick around after the meeting. Mr. Ryder up front, take care of you. You have the floor, sir.
Yes, my name's Joe Brent Carey. I'm a local biology teacher, coach, father of 5 children, 3 of whom have their lifetime license. And I have hunted all my life, and I feel like I'm the typical person that the agency and you guys should be working for or representing, because I'm not wealthy, I'm middle class, and I use public ground to hunt. And I'm coming before you to ask you to reevaluate the system that has been put in place on Gooch Unit E. You guys put it in place last year under the impression that it would create more opportunity for hunters, I believe. And I have the data to basically prove otherwise. You know, it has actually created less opportunity. It is being used less. And I think, you know, that's a problem. You've got a natural resource that's not being used. The current system has 10 spots, which is half as many as it used to have. But it's on a draw system, and people aren't showing up. The ones that said they would hunt aren't there. So you've got a natural resource that's not being used, and that can't be a good thing. And I'm asking you, the commission and the agency, to reevaluate it. You know, there's got to be a better way to do it to benefit the hunters. There has to be a better way because it's not being used. The other thing I would like to address on that system is I know we're all for youth involvement and kids. Okay, under that computer system, you have to be 16 years old to participate in the drawing. Okay? But you're still counted as a member of the party. So a 13-year-old kid can't draw to hunt, but he's still counted as a member of the hunting party. So you're actually punishing the kids, you know, because they can't participate in the drawing, but yet they're still counted as a member of the 5 party, because there's a rule that says you can only carry 5 members hunting on this WMA. So it's against youth involvement, basically, that rule in itself. So whatever you decide, I would like you to reevaluate what you have implemented on Gooch Unit E and find a better plan. You know, find something more beneficial, whether it's a draw every morning for who shows up, or draw blinds all year, or whatever. Something where the natural resource is being used to its fullest extent. Thank you.
Your comments are noted, and I'm sure when that season setting comes up, if you would, be sure and watch the website and for public comment, and I'll recognize the gentleman behind you back there.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Daniel Ferguson. I'm 26 years old. I live here in town. And not to repeat anything Mr. Carey said, but I just wanted the commission to know that I feel the same way, that it's been greatly underutilized. We're speaking about Gooch Unit E. And there are measures that could be taken to keep that from happening. One would be a draw every morning, you know, for the spots that are vacant. Another thing to consider would be to, you know, go have it just like Gooch Unit A. It's an annual drawing. And those blinds that don't get hunted on Gooch, you know, the card holders aren't there in the morning. Somebody else can go get in the blind, and then you're having somebody hunt it every day, or at least as often as somebody wants to hunt it. Nobody in the local population of duck hunters around Crockett wanted this to happen. Nobody did. I have not spoken to one anyway. You know, myself included, you'll have, like Mr. Carey, you'll have a group of locals that hunt down there pretty much, you know, year round if they're able to. And there's really not that many of them. It's like 10 different parties anyway. You know, all of us were against having it go to a computerized drawing system to begin with, but that's neither here nor there. I agree with the commission that something needed to be done, you know, regarding safety and all that stuff, but it's still, it doesn't address the issue that it's being greatly underutilized. And that's all I have, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Quick comment, and I'm not in your all's neck of the woods, but something's been said, and I think our role on this needs to be very, very clear. And that is that, I've forgotten the exact words, but that our actions have not been conducive or supporting of youth hunting. And if anything this commission's about, it needs to be very clear that that's exactly what this commission is about. We want to see our youth out there hunting. I think what we are cautious of is that our youth being used by adults to create adult hunting opportunities. Your comments are noted, really respect them, and please don't take this as trying to throw cold water on that. But to be very clear, and I think it is consistent with our history, what this commission is about is particularly encouraging our youth to be in the outdoors. And that will continue in whatever action we take regarding this. You have our word that that will be paramount.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else from the audience? Okay, I've got a few other things, but one thing I'd like to go to now is I'd like to thank the Discovery Park of America for letting us have our meeting here today. This is an awesome venue. I think the commission has enjoyed coming. I think the staff has as well. And I know the special events coordinator, Rick Adams, I'd like to thank him. And I know all of you will bring your families back, your grandkids back. And I know if you want to come today, there's tickets available if you want to take a tour today. But we do appreciate them letting us come, and always love to come. Being a West Tennessee boy, I always like to come back to West Tennessee on these meetings and not have to go all the way to Bristol and all that kind of stuff. It's a long way that way, I'll tell you. We try to make them come this way.
It's the same distance here as it is there.
All right, I got you. John Gregory said he'd probably echo that. Okay, as you all know, the terms of the current officers expire February the 28th. And at this time, I would like to select a nominating committee to propose a slate of officers at the February commission meeting. And those on that committee will be Jim Ripley, Connie King, and Trey Teague. I will ask that Jim Ripley chair that committee. Mr. Ripley, I would ask that you would get with your committee between now and then and give a report back to the commission on February. And by not hearing any growling, I consider that y'all took those committee appointments. Mr. Patrick, do we have any final comments from the agency, sir?
No, sir.
I did get a note that Director Carter's family member that had surgery, everything went well, and that was good. And we did miss him here today. Our next commission meeting will be a one-day meeting in Nashville. It will be on Thursday, February the 12th. Correct me if I'm wrong. Does that sound right? I got a nod there. Any more comments from anybody? Mr. McMillan, sir.
I just want to personally thank Commissioner Cannon for the work that he's done in the past year, or at least since June, and the heart and soul that he's put in, the time he's put in, the travel he's put in it. There's nobody else on this commission could have done what he's done, and I hope I know the agency's worked hard with him, but I hope that the public understands just how much thought and process has gone into all these fees and all, and it's our objective as this commission to be able to fund this agency so we can continue to have the great outdoor resources that we all enjoy now. So I just want to thank Harold personally.
Mr. King?
And I third that.
Mr. Cox?
I'll amen what Commissioner McMillan said. I can tell you, we didn't have a lot of conversation about this from the commission, but I can tell you that we spent hours and talking some pretty frank, grown-up talk about the money and discussing this. Nobody wanted to raise the fees. I think Harold has worked. He did a yeoman's job, and he's the most organized guy I've ever seen to put together a presentation like he did. But if it weren't for these expenditures we had, we wouldn't be here raising these. But this federal funds and the radios and the ADA and those kind of things kind of forced us into it. But Harold did an outstanding job, and I appreciate him tolerating especially me, because I was pretty confrontational several times about some of the things that we want to do in the future and trying to get them done as quickly as we can. And he's so I appreciate that, Harold. You did a great job today, and I would like to correct something. While I appreciate the recognition for being here before, I wasn't the chairman. So Donald wants you to make sure that I didn't raise the rates twice. And one other point that we.
So I guess you're blaming that on me then. Seeing
well,
how
you
my
get it.
So seeing how my last day is February the 28th, I'll take it. You can stick around.
And out here in one of the cases, there's a $2 1936 hunting license, and Commissioner Watson and I were standing there, and he did the inflation rate over 79 years, and from 1936 to 2015, the math was that the type 01 or the hunting and fishing license should be $33.98. We just approved the $34, so I think that's pretty close to no increase except for the inflation for 79 years. I think that's pretty uncanny. So good job, Harold.
Let me thank you, and this isn't to return pats on the back. I want the public to know this committee as a whole worked hard. Vice Chair McMillan, David Watson, Bill Cox, Tom Rice, Jamie Woodson, and the other commissioners who did not have to come to those meetings but did, including our chair and vice chair. It was something taken very, very seriously, and I hope by some of what you've heard today, you see how seriously, but it was also team ball. And it was team ball by our agency staff. They poured hours into seeing what cuts could be made, and in some places, the bone was touched, and we know it, but it was the right thing to do. So, and hopefully we've listened, and hopefully we've cleared up any misconception and some misinformation out there. I appreciate everyone that came today. This is what it's about, is to get your input, and because we're voting on behalf of you. So thank you all so much.
Anyone else on the commission? We are adjourned.